Actually, one of our most recent episodes was about like transition eras, and I just saw a TikTok where a girl rebranded transition eras as a sunset season.
Whoa. And welcome to yet another episode of the Asian Podcast, the podcast with all your favorite Asian friends, some of them who still dab.
I'm dabbing, baby.
You dabbing.
I'm going to dab until it loops back to being cool again. Never give up.
It's kind of like when you don't change the, your clocks.
Yeah.
When you jump forward.
It'll come back around.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep dabbing. That's like your personality.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, hold on, Jenny. Wait, Jenny. You mean Jenny who works in advertising, or Jenny who dabs?
Dabs.
Oh, Jenny who dabs.
The dabbing Jenny.
No, we know about dabbing Jenny. Yeah, it's welcome.
She's so cool.
She's so cool, and you are cool too for listening to this podcast. We are coming at you from Canal Street Market. It is a beautiful day. No, it's not. I'm lying to you. I'm lying to you. But here's the thing: we were talking about this a couple weeks ago about whether or not comedy should be about lies or not, or whatever, like where the line is.
Right. Emotional truths.
Emotional truths.
Yeah.
And I feel he's getting kind of not a lot of heat, but some heat for this.
He is getting Hassan.
We're talking about Hassan, and he, a couple weeks ago again, he kind of said, well, not everything there that happens to me, and it's whatever, and
right.
I don't know, what I would call nerds are like getting on him about it. Some dorks. Like,
I'm kind of on the side of it.
Really? No, I don't think so.
Not fully, but kind of, yeah.
No, I don't think so. You can completely make up anything you want. If it's on the next day, well, if he came out and was like, actually, my name is not Hassan, it's David, I would be like,
David
fine.
Smith.
Yeah, David Smith. If you ripped off his face and it was a white guy, I'd be like, all right, fine. That's the line. This is Asian Not Asian. Thank you for joining us. Quick announcement up top. If you are listening, come join us in person. Hack City Comedy. That's our monthly comedy show. The second Friday of every month. The next one's October 13th. Tickets available in the episode description, or just Google Hack City Comedy. I think we have enough Google web crawlers to say what Hack City Comedy is, and it'll come up and you can buy tickets, and it's at Union Hall at 7 o'clock, again, October 13th. It's a lot of fun. And if you are listening to this and decide, halfway through the podcast, man, I really love Mike and Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
You just
halfway through.
Okay. The first 10 minutes, you're like, this sucks.
Yeah. But halfway through, it turns around.
But halfway through, it turns
Watch
around.
out.
Once I start talking about cars,
it's going to turn around.
Then you can come and support us by going to patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod and become a Patreon subscriber. I think the lowest tier is like $2. You got $2.
You got $2. A coffee now costs $10. Why not give us some of that to us? That's me doing like boomer stand-up energy.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. You want more of that? Go to Hack City.
Where I don't do stand-up.
Where you don't do stand-up. Yes, again, that's patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod. And then finally, leave us, you know what? We love to hear from you guys. We really do. Literally, we're in between episodes.
Yes.
As we're recording at 2 episodes today. We just happen to be. And in between, somebody came by who was in Canal Street Market and was like, I'm a big fan of you.
Yes.
And he came up to us individually, which was fire.
It was awesome. It was so nice.
Yeah, and in fact, that's going to be, I'm going to get into a story. That's going to be my What Kind of Asian Were You this week. But we love hearing from you guys. The ratings and stuff like that absolutely matters. So leave us a review. Leave us 5 stars on Apple Podcast app. You can... I believe you can give us a thumbs up on Spotify. I haven't looked in a while. They keep changing it. So, but if you're on YouTube, you can leave a comment and subscribe and all those fun stuff. And that would be really nice of you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, and that would be really fun.
It keeps us going for one more week.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
Should we just get into and bring our guest on?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We've talked enough today.
We really have.
I'm sick of looking at you.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Our guest today is, I'm not sure how to bring you on. I'm not sure.
Why not?
Because you're part of what we're having you on for is kind of like glow ups and like transitions and stuff like that. And so I want to say you're a multi-creative Asian.
Yes.
We're going to say that.
True.
Is that cool?
Yeah, love it.
Multi-coastal Asian.
Yeah, I'm just kind of all over the U.S. right now.
All over the place Asian.
All over the place. So yes.
And host of the Asian Glow Up Pod.
Yes.
One of the hosts of the
Yes,
Asian Glow Up Pod.
co-host.
Yeah, just cool person. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm just throw that in there just for no fucking reason at all. Give it up for Jojo Kim, everybody.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, I agree with you. There's like not really one way to describe me right now.
Yeah.
I guess I would say I have experience in advertising as an art director. I've been doing that since 2018. That's when I moved to New York, and I majored in advertising. So I've been in the game for a really long time.
Oh, you did? Wow.
Yeah, long time. A lot of advertising Asians.
Oh, yeah. Did you
Yeah.
know there's an advertising Asian event right now?
Right now?
Right now,
Oh, yeah,
like right over there.
That's why the listener was here for
Yeah, the
that
listener we were
event.
talking to was here for an Asians in advertising event.
Yeah.
Wait,
which we
that's
are not associated
That's my
with.
mentor's organization, and I'm in that org.
But
Well,
they're
they're right
right
there.
over
Not
there.
invited. What? Well, I guess that's actually perfect because I'm trying to kind of leave advertising.
Oh.
So maybe they got the set. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. I'm in that org.
That's so funny.
Wow,
this
this
is very symbolic
Yes!
of your journey.
That's hilarious.
Because you're in this little booth with us
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of over
and
there.
I'm away from them.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that. That's actually hilarious.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, actually.
Yeah. of
Yeah,
course.
I met my mentor, and she's the founder of the org, one of the founders, and she's amazing. Her name's Bernice. Shout out Bernice. But
Wow.
yeah, she like helped me towards the end of that phase of my life, and now
Okay.
I'm transitioning. But
Okay.
that's hilarious.
Okay. Yeah. Well, don't make eye contact
Yeah.
with anyone
Yeah,
over there.
Play it cool. Play it cool.
Now you're part of one of us.
Yeah,
The
that's hilarious.
comedians in a hot booth, Asians.
Love it. I love it.
That's us. But yeah, you also have a podcast. We're gonna get into that. But now, so you're and kind of like an advertising Asian, but now you're kind of like moving on to other things.
I am. Yeah. Well, I don't want to jump the gun, but I feel like
Yeah.
I could explain it a lot in the what kind of Asian. I was
Okay.
this
We'll
week.
get that. Well, let's just
Should
get into it.
I jump in? I don't
Should we?
wanna
Yeah, let's
skip
go into it.
around.
How about we can start with Jenny this
Okay.
week.
Okay.
Jenny, what kind of Asian were you this week?
I was and am a Gossip Girl Asian.
Yes.
Ooh.
So I've never watched Gossip Girl.
You're talking
which-
about the original?
The original.
Okay, thank God.
I did not grow up watching it. I never actually watched CW shows. I was
Okay.
kind of like this is so on. If you wanted to get to know who I am, I was
Yeah.
watching sitcoms. I was watching old sitcoms like
Yeah, yeah.
Cheers,
Yeah.
Golden Girls,
Yeah.
and then eventually like Your Ugly Betty, Dirty
Oh,
Rock,
yeah.
Parks and Rec, Community. Like I was firmly in the comedy, so I just like never watched teen drama stuff.
Yeah.
And then Delia, kind of friend of Pod,
Yeah.
was talking about Gossip Girl, and I was like, I should really just give it a watch. So I'm on season 2 right now. It started, so we're in about like in this time period. I think it started coming out 2007. So I'm going to say what I'm watching is probably 2008, 2009.
Okay.
It is the whitest show. It is so white. It is unbelievable.
But isn't it good?
I mean, is it
you
good?
you watch it?
I grew up watching it.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
I get why it's people were addicted to it
Yeah.
because like the things are happening, juicy things are happening. People are making out. If you're a teenager, you're like, oh my lord,
Oh
like
my.
everyone's a hottie, like but everyone's white. There is
Yes.
like little to no people of color at all.
Right.
The people of color are also half white if they
Yeah.
are people of color.
Or
I'm
and
not
I
kidding.
talked about it in the last episode. They swap out the one Asian girl for another Asian girl. It's like
Wow.
you can only have one.
Yeah.
There was like one Asian girl who was part of like the clique, the Blair clique, and then they introduce another Asian girl, and all of a sudden when that new introduction happens, the old Asian girl's out. And I'm sure it was probably on the part of like production people being like, it's too confusing if there's two of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so confusing.
Yes.
Anyway, so I've been watching, but not only is it white, it's like all the same flavor of white. It's like stick thin, like really tall.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that era of beauty.
Yes.
Like Paris Hilton beauty era.
Yes.
And I was like talking about it. I was like, no wonder I thought I was ugly. I was like, what? I was like watching this and I'm like, I'm not a tall white woman.
Wow.
Surprise! Just like if anyone listening didn't know that, I'm not a tall white woman.
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. Huge twist.
Yeah. Well, when did this show come out?
2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
It hasn't aged very well.
it has not aged well.
What's
There's a
the-
lot of like
is there the premise? Is there like a?
There's no premise. It's rich people on the Upper East Side. There's like a website that focuses on their life, and like there's a lot of gossip about these people and whatever. My point is, it's like one standard of beauty. There's literally one standard of beauty for men and women.
Right.
Every love interest that Serena has looks exactly the same. Tall, brunette, like kind of like
Dark
pale,
hair.
artsy white guy.
Always been
Yes.
Ethan.
Like they look like they live in Brooklyn.
Yes, that is every handsome man on the show.
That's
and then
funny.
every hot girl, every girl is like just like tall, skinny, white.
Yeah.
Like thin,
Yeah.
white. And I was just like, yeah, duh. Like no wonder we like people my generation, maybe probably older, like all thought we were like not beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because like that's all we were consuming at all times. And I remember thinking that I was like, well, I'll never be hot, but I could be cute. You know, that was like always my mentality because I was like, that's what's hot.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not me. I'm not going to be 6 feet tall, stick thin.
Yeah. But you're watching the show.
Yeah, I'm watching it. It doesn't age well
Yeah.
at all. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think the first few episodes is about like raping a girl.
Yeah, there's like so much sexual assault. There's so much like threat of rape.
Yes.
And there's also a lot of like characters. There's a lot of like men who use women.
I think every single man uses a woman.
Every Chuck's scene, he has like 4 women who don't have any lines who are naked around him.
Yeah.
There's just so many, and also the guy who plays Chuck is like a lot of problems for real in life.
in real life.
In real life,
didn't know that.
problematic. And Westwick, I think his last name is.
Yes.
But so I'm just watching it with this like lens of like, wow, culture has moved so much, and thank God
Wow.
it has, because no wonder I thought it was impossible to do anything in media at that point.
Yeah.
As an Asian person.
You can't imagine like making a movie like that. And,
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I guess you.
Unless it was like satire, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And even then, I think they'd be like, you're going a little too hard. It wasn't like that. You know what I mean? But like looking at it, I'm like, it was like that.
Yeah.
It really, really was.
Wow.
Also, here's the other part. They're all like 25 playing teenagers, which
Sure.
is fine. That was like
Right.
always a thing.
That's always a thing.
But the young Jenny is actually a teenager. Right? Like the girl who plays
Oh,
the
right.
younger sister, like
I've
she for
heard-
real
Yeah.
is a teenager. She's like 6 years younger than all the other actors. And they have her like doing scenes where she's like kissing actors and stuff. And I keep being like calculating the math. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, she was underage. They were like in their 20s. She was like in her
That's gotta
teens.
be so weird.
There's just stuff where I'm like, and my friend is like in film, and she was like, this is before intimacy coordinators. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's just like I just think about all the context around it, and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I've been major like Gossip Girl Asian, thinking about all the problems, but not stopping. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop. Yeah, I gotta know what happens on the Upper East Side. Hello, Upper East Siders. You know, that's
Jojo, so you watched it were you watching it while
Real
it was
time.
coming out in real time?
In real time,
Yeah.
yeah. And like you, I resonate with the fact that I didn't feel pretty or
Yeah.
anything, because to me, like Blake Lively is the definition of pretty.
exactly the
Yeah.
standard.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
we're
she's
not
in
gonna
that?
look like
Oh.
Blake
She's
Lively.
Serena Vanderwoodson,
She's the main-
like the it girl.
It girl.
Okay. Now I got it. Now I know what kind of show this is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Got it.
Very
And
much
it's
so.
one of those things. I remember having this thought like at that age, where it's just like, well, I'm not gonna be the girl.
Yes.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
Never.
And you know, obviously at the time I couldn't have told you it was based on race.
Right.
But like looking back now, I'm like, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
If
Well,
that's
did you
what we're
grow
being
up
fed.
in a very like white community at all?
Middle school, yes.
Middle school only. Okay.
Yeah. Which was when I think it was like ingrained in me. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll just be like the funny, fun side girl. But that's the best you
The
but,
side character.
Yeah.
But that's literally in Gossip Girl. That is the role. It's
Yeah.
like the one girl, and she's good at school.
Right.
And that's like she's like a fun side character that gets bullied.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
like, okay, well that's my role.
Yeah.
And at best, I won't get bullied.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just like having all these
No.
thoughts as I watch it.
It's interesting. I think that every as whatever people of color, we have all these critiques of stuff, but we also have no real choice but to watch stuff like this sometimes, because that's all there is.
Yeah.
Like I have plenty of problems with like Sex and the City, but I still watch it.
yeah, of course.
And someone like me, if let's see here, if I was not even an actor, if I was in this universe,
yeah.
I could only deliver food. That's all I could do.
Yeah.
Hello, lo mein. That's
Yeah.
my line.
Have you
One
have you
line.
read Interior Chinatown?
No.
It's literally that.
It's really?
Yeah, and then until you can become kung fu guy, and then you get to go up that way. The whole point is like for Asian men, that's like your only role. You're like delivery guy or kung fu guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
So
me.
it's like bringing back all these thoughts. I was like, no one, like it's just so obvious. And then also the layer on top of that is just being a woman.
Right.
I was like, oh, you're
Right.
not. You're just like you have to be hot.
Right.
Because like everything is predicated on if you're hot. If you're not hot, you're not a character that's going to be respected.
Mm.
And I was like, that sucks.
Yes.
Like no wonder all these things were ingrained in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I'm like, I don't like the show anymore.
Yeah, but I am gonna watch. I'm
Yeah,
continuing
it's
to
good.
watch it. Yeah.
I like recently re-binged it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Not that recent, but
Right.
in the last 5 years.
I mean, the
yes.
plots are insane. Like it's so wild and also
just
it's
wait
kind of
till
bad.
the later seasons.
It's like the way it looks is bad.
Oh,
Like the
really?
way it's filmed is like not great.
Have you seen
The acting is
the
bad.
memes that point out all the continuity errors?
Oh no!
Oh, really?
Oh, I saw
Oh, my
one where
gosh.
I saw a TikTok where they point out that one of the background actors had one heel on and one barefoot.
Well,
Stuff like that, where you're like,
the
what?
worst one is when Serena has sweatpants on under her dress because apparently the day they were filming that scene, it was freezing outside.
I see.
But they left like the sweatpants showing. That one's hilarious. You should look it up.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I know. I was like, this is not big budget stuff, which is crazy because it was such a hit. But I was like realizing how cheap it looks
Yeah.
and feels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
This
agree.
is before like real prestige TV.
Exactly. But that kind of makes it fun because
Yeah,
it is
I
cheap.
agree.
And,
This was on like the
cheap and bad.
CW, right?
yeah.
Oh. Oh, come on.
I was not a CW girl. Like I wasn't watching the CW, so it's fun to watch it now. Where you're like, this is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yet here I am, like actively watching it all week.
Yes.
So that's what I was.
That's a good one.
Yeah. How
Okay.
about you, Mike? What kind of Asian were you?
I was a man. I don't know. I'm trying to think how to describe this. Gosh, like I don't know what to say. Asian. There you
Okay.
go.
Okay.
So this has happened to me last night, and this fan slid into my DMs.
Hey, it works.
It does. And he, nice dude, had DM'd me before and was like, "Hey man, I'm in Brooklyn. I'd love to buy you a drink, man. And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Let's do this." And this guy, I told him this before, but I wasn't sure. I'm never afraid of like being like murdered or something, but I am afraid of like meeting someone and them being like, I don't know, a little bit problematic.
I see.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what you mean.
So I was like trying to check out this dude's Instagram, and I was like, okay, you got any like Blue Lives Matter kind of things, or a lot of you at the gun range? I can do like one, paintball. Okay.
Yeah.
You
Wait,
know,
is this guy Asian?
he's Asian.
Okay.
Yes, and so I was like trying to figure this out, and again, like I talked to him about this, so he knows. But he and I meet up not in my neighborhood, and he's super nice.
Mm-hmm.
He is an intense guy. He's an attorney. He is Vietnamese like me, right? And he tells me he tells me like it's so awesome to meet you. You're like I'm a huge fan of the show, and he proceeds to tell me first of all his insane family history.
okay.
I'm trying to think of this as a bit because like I can't meet Vietnamese people anymore. Their family histories, it's always like my mom was one of 35 children.
Right.
And they were educated, by a monkey.
Yeah.
My dad was a landmine.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God. And it's like all these crazy things, and they come to this country. He comes to this country when he's a kid. Actually he comes out to the country around the time like I moved from Texas to California, and he moves to the Midwest. And he's talking about how hard it is being out there. There's not a lot of Asians
Of
or
course.
Viets in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Tells me like sort of his career thing, and then he really kind of tries to just emphasize that what I was doing, why it was so important, right?
Aw.
To him, but then he says this to a lot of people. Like he's like, you're like there's not a lot of people doing what you do, right? As a Vietnamese person who's like being a comedian and telling our stories, blah blah blah, whatever. And he was so gracious and so nice, and he was just so I don't know. Like I feel I can handle a compliment, but no one has ever. He like was. You know, what do you say to someone who's like, you are important? You know what I'm saying? I was like, holy crap. And he was like, you know, and you know, of course he was couching this with like, you know, if you ended up not doing comedy anymore, you don't know anyone anything, you could totally just leave comedy and you don't have to do this anymore. Right. But just know that you are making a difference. And I was like,
it
was super nice.
Do, yeah.
Yeah. And then we got super drunk. But then like, but you know, it was like, I told him this too. I started doing comedy so I could tell, you know, jokes about butts, you know, and to like have a funny thing I do, and I didn't know that I was going to make a difference. I didn't know that I didn't come out to do this.
Yeah.
To do that, right? Like I don't, you know, do that, but it does feel good because there's so much of what we do on the podcast, on Stupid Instagram, where we put out stuff and then it just goes out.
Yeah.
And you don't hear about it ever again.
Yes.
Like it's just gone.
Yeah.
And then you're like back.
Or you're getting people saying weird things online.
Yeah.
And you go, oh man.
Yeah.
Everyone hates me.
Or like weird stuff's happening, or actually because there's no reaction, you're like, well, that was a failure.
Right.
And you know, there's a sort of like tyranny of analytics, right? Like that's like a huge curse. So, you know, but then you realize that like those whatever listens or downloads or whatever, those are real people listening to you, and you know, some of them are real passionate about what you do, which is like, again, this is not what I thought was going to happen.
Yes.
And it was so cool, and I really, you know, wanted to say thank you to him. And it's crazy. He's the one making a difference. He's the one, you know, like he's like
in his like day-to-day life.
Yeah. He tells me this really I don't want to repeat the details of it because it's his story, but he tells me this whole story about him and his children, and I'm like, this is the guy.
Yeah.
You know, this is the interesting guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like my big thing is like I wore a blazer today.
Right.
You know, like look at my blazer.
I know. My friend who's a doctor listens to this podcast regularly during her breaks. Hello to my friend Lauren. No, she's not here. I'm just saying it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's here too. Because I was like, she's listening right now.
Hey, doc.
But I'm always like, she's always like, no, what you do is important. And I'm like, no, what you do is important. You're literally a doctor.
Literally.
I come here, eat some chicken, put headphones on, and I'm like, I was sad this week, and now I'm happy. Like,
listen, I watched Gossip Girl.
Like, I just am like, I'm always just amazed that anyone.
It's crazy.
Could say
But do you
like
think
that.
as Asian people you deflect compliments?
I mean,
Because
at the beginning, I definitely did.
I still do that.
Oh.
And I think it's
now
because
I'm
I'm
like-
Asian.
ooh.
I like literally came to a point where I was like, no, it feels good.
It feels good,
Thank
but I still
you.
deflect it.
Oh, I see.
I feel like I sense this going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean, though. Like, you're not saving lives, but...
Yeah, I think that's like, I always am like, I don't know if this is I think I'm saying that we are not saving lives.
Yeah.
Maybe we are.
You could
And
be.
Maybe, I mean-
in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying because
But
I
I know what you
feel I feel like the best job I can do is satisfactory. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Okay.
best grade for me is, you know, when I was growing up, like the only grade there is A. There's
Yes.
nothing else.
Yeah.
In which case, then A is not excellent. A is just satisfactory.
Yes.
There's either
That's the standard.
There's either pass or not pass. So I don't want to make it too Asian, like where everything was like that, because my mom really wasn't like a tiger mom.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel uncomfortable when people, compliment me or tell me I'm doing a good job. And if you're listening, I'm not saying that you made me feel uncomfortable. I'm just saying that like I don't know how to process those things. It's for me, it's
I
just
agree.
sort of like if somebody were just like the best I feel someone could ever say to me after a show is like, hey, great set. Cool.
Yeah.
There is nothing else. There is only good. That was good, and everything else is terrible. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the most I'll allow myself to be like, that was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. I don't know if you feel like that.
I don't do sets, so.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
I guess
or-
I do sets.
yeah.
I do improv.
Yeah.
And I usually am the hardest on myself.
Right.
I do love compliments.
I love compliments
Kind of
too.
a Leo.
Yeah. Is it? Oh.
Yeah,
That makes sense then.
I love compliments.
Wow.
And I've learned to like accept them and appreciate them for what
Yeah.
they are. But But then I do have a hard time thinking I'm doing anything important because I'm like, there are so many people in this world actively helping people in much more concrete ways than like what this feels like. Because sometimes it feels like, oh, it's also part of an ego thing. Like I get to just talk about me. This
Absolutely.
is like a space for me to be like center of attention. So then I'm always like, I don't know if this is important.
No.
What's really important is my friend being a doctor helping people.
No, we're smooth-brained Asian.
Let me just say, I'm smooth. Honestly, if I had to describe my week, it's smooth-brained.
Yeah, I'm like if you open up my brain, there's a dolphin in there.
Yeah.
It's just so smooth.
Yeah.
Slippery, bro.
Yeah, it's so slippery.
No thoughts.
There's zero thoughts at all up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a scrubbed mushroom.
It's polished with a little bit of olive oil on it, so it's a little shiny.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've been cooking.
Smooth mushrooms. So anyways, you just heard our literal riff about smooth braidedness and compare that to people who are like making a difference
like
in justice,
actively spending time.
in the legal system, in medical, in the medical field. Compare that to smooth brained olive oil mushroom Asians.
I ate mushrooms last night. That's why I'm saying
that
it.
sounds yummy. Anyways, but yes, thank you so much. And if you're listening, trust us. We're thankful for you guys. It is absolutely our, it's like a privilege for us to do this. It really is. That was us. So how about you, Jojo? What kind of Asian are you this week?
I've been prepping for this a lot.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
What do I want to say?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I landed on manic Asian.
Okay.
Or like a little Delulu Asian.
Oh, okay.
Because that's like a trendy word right now.
Yes.
Delulu.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Delulu.
You haven't heard this?
Mm-mm.
Hey,
I thought
Grandpa.
you were on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You're
no.
aging yourself.
I am.
I hope
like
to be more
delusional.
Delulu. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it
The
was.
phrase is Delulu is the Salulu.
What's up, y'all? It's spooky season here, and I have to ask you, what's on your horror movie playlist? Is it Halloween? Is it Nightmare on Elm Street? Is it Hereditary? Guess what? You can watch all of these on Netflix, but you got to use my favorite app of all time, ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN lets me change my online location and trick Netflix into showing me movies and TV shows that aren't normally available here in the United States, so I can get thousands of extra shows and movies. For example, last week I watched the original Scream movie. Drew Barrymore, so hot in it. It was so easy. I just opened up ExpressVPN on my TV, switched my location to Canada, and one click, boom, hit refresh on Netflix, and it was there. If I didn't have ExpressVPN, I'd have to subscribe to other services or rent movies on Apple or Amazon. With ExpressVPN, I've probably saved like $50 or $60 just in the last month, just by, again, using ExpressVPN to switch where my Netflix location is. And of course, it's not just for scary movies. ExpressVPN's got nearly 100 different countries to choose from. For example, you can watch Lord of the Rings on Australian Netflix, Top Gun on German Netflix, Parasite on Korean Netflix, goes on. And ExpressVPN works on everything. Phones, laptops, tablets, I have it on my phone, TVs, you name it. And it's got every kind of streaming service, Disney Plus, Shudder, whatever you want. So get your money's worth and get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free when you go to expressvpn.com/Asian. That's expressvpn.com/Asian. expressvpn.com/Asian. Life doesn't happen on a bi-weekly basis, so why does your payday? The money you earn can be yours today with Earnin. Earnin is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work, up to $100 per day or up to $750 per pay period. Just download the Earnin app and verify your paycheck. Then access up to $100 a day as you work and leave an optional tip. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. If I needed something like Earnin, it's what I'd use. And this is why. Earnin is simple, easy to use, and a fast way to get access to money you need immediately. Make Earnin a part of your financial routine and join Earnin's over 3.5 million customers who say things like, when I think about Earnin, I think about financial stability and security. It gives me a lot of peace of mind. Download Earnin today, spelled EARNIN, in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the Earnin app, type in Asian under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Asian under podcast. Subject to your available earnings, daily max, and pay period max. See earnin.com/TOS for details. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Bank products are issued by Evolve Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
same
We're like,
TikTok. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just like you said earlier, I'm just kind of hopping around all over the place. Just for context, I've lived in New York for the last like 4.5 years, moved out in April of this year because my roommates and I, we all agreed that we should just travel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got laid off last November, so it's been a while.
Okay.
So my gut reaction to that was, I want to leave America.
Wow. Okay.
So since then, I've been in Korea, I've been in the Philippines, I've been in Barcelona, Ibiza, Madrid.
Oh my God.
Did I go anywhere else? Oh, I was just like in LA, bouncing around New York. I'm based in Texas right now, which is where my family lives. I'm
Okay.
just literally bouncing around everywhere.
Yeah.
Going through a career change, going through a breakup.
Oh.
Yeah, 7-year relationship.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Big breakup.
Yeah, this is my first time like openly talking about it actually.
Okay.
Whoa.
Well,
Yeah.
you did it in the right place.
Yeah.
Yes. In a space where I can talk about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let it all out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a lot of change happening.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I'm a little manic. Oh, I'm getting my first tattoo today, right
Whoa.
after this.
Oh my
Whoa.
God. You are really going
What
off.
are you-
I'm
gonna-
really Delulu, right?
Yeah, but it actually might be the
Yeah.
Delulu.
Delulu is short for what? Or is
Delusional.
Delusional?
Yeah, like being delusional is a solution.
Which is not a healthy thing to say,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, hold on here. Okay. But what? Like
There's a lot
I
to
see
cover.
manic. I see manic.
Oh, you see
Why-
manic.
I see the manic. I get that. But
Okay.
why delusional?
I feel like for my career change aspirations, I have to be a little delusional
Oh.
to believe that I can achieve what
Yes.
I want.
Yes.
I think everyone needs
Yes.
a little delusion to achieve their goals.
Yes.
Yes.
I think to
Oh.
make it in a creative field, you have to be a little delusional.
Absolutely.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I heard it as you have to be kidding yourself.
Okay, I see
That's
that.
the way it's like, you're sure you're gonna make it. Sure, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then because
Yeah.
that's the only it's such a
It's all
stupid-
you have to go
It's all you
on.
have to go on. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's where I am. I just
Wow.
unloaded everything
That's
on
good.
you guys.
There's a
I
lot-
skipped therapy this week.
Okay,
Oh,
well
you
then
did?
welcome. It's here.
So it's
It's
all
here.
like it's all backed up and ready to
It's
go.
not backed up.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like I needed it this week.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't even know you could do that. I thought it was always.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
You've never skipped a session?
No.
No,
you
but
don't-
I think unless I'm traveling,
Right.
I think it's because I'm like, I always need it.
I mean, it's good that you're aware of that.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
always
that's
like,
a good
this
thing.
could help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is this? What tattoo you gonna
Yeah,
get?
that was my question.
Okay, yeah. So it's funny because the person I'm going to, he has a high minimum. So he said
Oh.
he recommends I get 3.
Oh my God.
That felt really intense to me. So I said, maybe I'll get 2 today, but I'm going to feel it out when I get there.
Okay.
I'm going to get something small, very small things. I'm not getting like a whole
Yeah,
yeah,
sleeve
yeah.
today. I'm getting like little script, like little words.
Sure.
I'm getting something behind my ear. I don't know.
Oh, behind the ear.
Yeah, because my parents are going to murder me.
If they can see it.
So I'm starting hidden and small.
yes.
They don't
So-
look behind your head. I guess
Honestly,
you
my
can hide
mom
it.
notices everything. She has very good attention to detail, so she's probably gonna notice the second I see her
I see.
again.
Korean mom.
But
Yeah.
I think behind the ear, I wear my hair down a lot. I think it'll take a while to notice. Like I actually got
Oh.
my septum pierced 2 months ago, and she hasn't noticed yet.
Okay.
'Cause I flip it up
You have to
every now
hide
and
it,
then,
yeah.
so she hasn't noticed. But I'm also gonna get some Korean lettering down my back.
Oh.
It's gonna say na taum, which translates to. So the direct translation sounds really conceited. It
Okay.
directly translates to me first.
Yeah.
But by that, I more so mean like I'm putting myself first finally and like doing things that are like unapologetically for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like my whole life I've been a people pleaser or just
Oh.
like doing things for others just because I feel like I should.
Yeah.
And now I'm in this phase of my life where I'm like, fuck it. I just kind of want to do whatever I want and just see how it goes.
That's great.
Yeah.
You doing that right after this?
Yeah,
Wow.
I am.
This is a big
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, this
It
is
is,
How
big.
right?
exciting.
Yeah, and it's funny because I know my parents are gonna kill me, but I tricked my dad into writing out the Korean lettering for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
How did you do that?
So I flew in to New York on Thursday. So Wednesday night, I was like, "Hey, Dad, I really like your handwriting. Can you just write this out for me? I'm gonna use it on social media for something."
Okay.
And he doesn't really understand social media, so I think for him, he's just like, "Cool, yeah, sure."
Yeah.
And he kept writing it, and I was like, "Can you do it again?
Can
you do it again?"
I see.
Can you do it again?" And then we finally landed on something, and he's like, "Are you gonna show me after?" I'm like, Yeah.
Wait, so it's his handwriting that's going to be
Yeah.
used?
Oh, that's great.
I mean, that's
love
kinda
that.
cool.
That's cool.
It's more meaningful for me, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, he will be less likely to murder me.
Because it's his
It's
own.
him.
Because
Less
I'm like,
likely
you
to
wrote
murder
it,
It's like, I
Two
was
layers.
going to kill you, but
but it's my handwriting.
This
but
looks
the
fire.
handwriting is incredible.
Oh, it's
Right.
incredible handwriting.
Yeah, that's great handwriting. Yeah, so I think that'll ease them into tattoos in general.
Wow.
Because I want more, I think. So
Okay.
Yeah.
we'll see.
The
How
first
excited- well,
couple-
you're the tattoo guy.
Yeah,
I
you
have
have
no
so
tattoos.
many.
Yeah, the first one is the one you think about a lot.
Yeah.
And then like each one you get after is like you think about 40% as much. Until the point
Okay.
like by the time you get your fourth or fifth one, you're
Yeah.
like do whatever you want. Like I always try to think of it as unless I have a really specific thing, sometimes I've gone to the artist and as long as you like the artist and trust the artist,
Yeah.
I just go, listen, 1, no penises, okay? Don't draw any penises on me. 2, no spiders. I'm not a big spider person. Oh, and 3, no, let's see here.
No penises, no spiders. It's an incredible list.
No, no white people.
Okay.
You know how where it's like, it's like a dancing girl, like
Yeah.
a hula girl.
Oh, but you want them to be like a POC.
Generally, I would just try to avoid. Like I have a hands shaking on my leg, like 2 hands. Like we're supposed to be friendship. It's like
Yeah.
handshake. And I was like, okay, but don't fill it in. I don't want any white hands on me.
Okay.
I just was like,
That's
don't be doing me like that. So then but then I end up kind of getting a lot of like, bees and like roses and, wolves and shit like that.
What was
Right.
your first one?
My first one is my family name, which is in a script.
Wow.
Stupidest tattoo.
It's huge.
It's very
Oh,
big. It's on
how
it's
big
on
is
here.
it?
It's like, here, I'll show you. But it's
When I first saw it, I was just like, "Is that your name?"
my name. Yeah.
Your own name.
My own name. It's
and
my
it's
own
just
name.
like so big.
It's very big.
Oh, it is large.
And it's like the only one on this arm. No, wait. Do I have something up here? I can't remember. Anyway, so yeah, I got it. I was like, it was the first one I thought about a lot, and I picked out the script, and like the guy did a great job. So I mean, I do like that. The execution was great.
Yeah, it's
but,
beautiful.
Yeah, it looks good, but it's like the dumbest thing. I'm just like, what am I thinking? But that's sort of how it is.
Yeah.
And it is still the one where I was like, this is the most meaningful one, even though
course.
if it's like conceptually,
Yeah, 'cause you were thinking about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's who I was at the time. So
Right.
it just
Yeah.
made sense.
I
And
kind of
think
want you
that's
to put your first name.
cool. Yeah.
in
Up
It should
here?
be on the other arm.
And then
so
I
we can just
Yeah.
and then I might just go like that.
Does this
Kind of
answer
sick.
your question? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah, and then
like
I'm
when
like,
you meet people.
yeah,
Just
yeah. What's your name? And I just do that.
Yeah,
Am I like,
one
you
at a
like
time.
take
Yeah.
off your your blazer because it doesn't roll up all the way. Like it's like a whole process. You go, does this answer your
does
question?
this answer your question?
I actually love that.
and then, sir, we're in a grocery store.
Yeah. I just needed to confirm it
I
with
just
your
needed to
identity.
confirm
Like Jesus Christ.
what is that? Wow. Yeah. That will be exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So what prompted all of these kind of life? Was it the layoff? Like I feel like you're really in a transition period of your life.
I am.
Yeah.
I will say it was right before the layoff. I
Okay.
had a lot of health things
Okay.
last year. So in May of last year, I was in the hospital for 3 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My God.
Did I tell you about this already? at all?
I remember you didn't go into
Okay.
too much detail, but yes, you
Yeah.
did tell me you were away for a while.
Yeah, so I think I just told people I was away because I did technically have a lease in Brooklyn still, but I was never here. And so people would be
Sure.
like, where are you? Are we
Right.
going to see you anytime soon? And I would just say, I'm in Texas. And I'm pretty open about it. I would just say, like, I'm having some health things. And so the condition I have is called cyclic vomiting syndrome.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Super sexy.
Whoa.
And pretty much it's induced by, this is so messed up, it's induced by severe stress or extreme joy.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
so because your stomach is a bundle of nerves, and
Yeah.
I think I'm just really sensitive to anxiety and stuff, apparently.
Okay.
And so even if I'm super excited about something, that can just like cause a bunch
Whoa.
of stomach problems for me.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Oh
and
God.
I'll just like vomit.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's
crazy.
Whoa. You're
I
like
didn't.
that's-
I'm surprised by the excited part.
me too.
Right?
Interesting.
That was a relatively new discovery because usually it was just stress. So like
Mm-hmm.
throughout college, I kind of had little instances here and there where like studying for exams and stuff would trigger me.
Mm-hmm.
But then in my adult life, I would be really excited for an upcoming trip or something and just vomit.
Wow.
Whoa.
Insane.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's like a crazy Pokemon power, you know? It's like,
It's just like I can't be happy or sad. I
just
have to be
completely, like-
that's
painfully
so
neutral.
in the middle. Yeah.
I just have to be monotone,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so have you been able to like manage that
Yeah.
better? Like,
I have.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've seen a lot of specialists. I am in like a bunch of subreddit communities even.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah, I actually interviewed someone for my podcast who lives in Australia who has the same condition.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Okay.
And we talked about it a lot together.
Is it super rare?
It's pretty rare.
Okay.
Like, I don't know anyone else who has it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like you made it up, you know? Like, it sounds like,
no,
you
it
know?
sounds insane.
Yeah.
Like it's like a joke.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild.
And you've obviously have always had it, but I mean, like, you've always sort of noticed this is like a thing, or you were always, you know?
I always thought it was IBS.
Oh.
Yeah.
And people make jokes like, "Oh, hot girls have IBS."
Right.
I don't know what I have then. Like,
Yeah.
it's just insane. But I'm managing it, and
Okay,
things
great.
are good. But so after that, what happened was I was on medical leave from work for 3 months, and I
Uh-huh.
was back for 2.5 weeks, and then they let go of me and a bunch of other people
Oh my God.
who had also just come back from medical leave or like maternity leave.
Got
Oh my
it.
God.
And so all of us, we were also all POC.
Oh.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, they don't
Delicious.
give a flying
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
about me.
Yeah.
But I also realized I think I had that 3-month spell of illness because I was so unhappy and so stressed out from that job.
Right.
Damn.
So it's
Yeah.
all tied.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
So then once I got laid off, I was just freelancing, and I realized I was a lot happier picking what projects I'm on. But still, even with some of those freelance projects, I was thinking to myself, I'm not feeling fulfilled. And like people will say, I feel like it's 50-50. Some people think you should separate work and like finding fulfillment in life. But I'm one of those people that kind of needs my like 9 to 5 to drive me
Sure.
to be happy.
Yeah.
So I think that's also led me to just like totally jumping. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think
Yeah.
you, one thing you should consider doing is coming up with a fun name for your condition, kind of like Delulu.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like make it trend on TikTok. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we.
Yeah, because cyclic vomiting syndrome sounds so
It though
intense.
even the beginning words.
cyclic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cyclic. I don't know. It's not hitting.
Yeah, it's not hitting.
No.
It's not
It's
hitting.
got to be something like the sick, you know?
Yeah.
I think if I said that, people would be like, huh?
Well, yeah, that was kind of what I think what we want to talk about on this podcast, because you're transitioning to with your podcast. But like, tell people about your podcast.
Yeah,
Like,
so my podcast is called Asian Glow Up.
yeah.
We kind of don't like the name anymore, but
Hmm.
that's okay. We started it in 2020, so it's been a while, and it's been a passion project, honestly, since up until like 3 months ago, we started taking it actually seriously. Like that's when
okay.
we kind
Yeah.
of realized, okay, we need to be doing video content. We need to like actually start investing in it. So like we have a nice camera, we have like actual podcast mics and like actual setups now. I do it with my 2 roommates.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're not roommates anymore, but we lived together in Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy for like 2 years. We're best friends.
Oh.
And we just like shoot the shit, just talk about whatever we want.
Yeah.
We're all the same age, so it's just like us talking about anything relevant in our lives as we're like, glowing up and just like growing and changing and just evolving. And actually one of our most recent episodes was about like transition eras, and I just saw a TikTok where a girl rebranded transition eras as a sunset season.
Whoa.
It's beautiful,
See
right?
how good these.
TikTok branding.
That's
That's how you
such a
do it.
brand. Branding.
Like I watched that, I'm like tears streaming down my face.
Yeah.
She's talking about how like, yes, a chapter in your life is coming to an end, but it's like when a sunset is setting, it's still beautiful.
Right.
And then there's gonna be a sunrise at the end of it. So
Yeah.
like I'm just trying to look at my life like that.
Yeah. Mike's face.
Maybe we can call it.
Don't try to. You're trying to pitch something to
sunset-
go
es-
viral on
es-
TikTok.
Esophagus sunsetting.
Oh, I mean, I know what you're trying
what's
to do.
going on here?
He's
Yeah,
trying to come up with
I'm trying to come up with a better name for
for your-
cyclic vomiting
Okay.
Yeah.
syndrome.
I mean, people call it CVS, but then they get confused because they're like the pharmacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, CVS sucks.
Yeah, CVS
I agree.
sucks.
Yeah.
I agree.
No.
We don't want that.
No. Okay. We're gonna keep working on it
Well,
during this
we'll
podcast.
workshop.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How come you don't like Asian Glow Up?
I think because at the time we were in our like mid to early 20s, and now that we're in our late 20s, it just feels like it's time for something that more accurately reflects us. Because our format was like interviewing people that are also like glowing up per
Yeah,
se, or like doing things in their lives. That's so generic, but like creative people that are doing things with their lives. And now we're doing less interviews and more just like us two talking about
Yeah, I think that's
life.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're still trying to figure it out.
Got
but-
it.
Yeah. Jenny, you're just are you in your late 20s? I don't know.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
How old are you?
How are you not paying attention? I'm 32.
You're 32?
I'm old.
That's not old.
That's not old. But do you have any thoughts as someone who has sunsetted their 20s?
I've sunsetted a lot of things.
Yeah. Is there anything you would say recommend to say 20s Jenny?
Well, I didn't start my transition period until the pandemic. My big 2020 was like really when everything
Really?
like hit. I'm so different. If anyone knew me, like people who knew me before this would be like, whoa, she changed a lot.
Yeah.
And it was spurred by pandemic life.
Yeah.
Like the second I lost because I was super busy in my late 20s. So I moved in 2018 as well.
Okay.
And my whole life was working a full-time job at Google. And then after that, I would do comedy stuff. And I would have 3-hour rehearsals a week and then one night of performances. Because I was both writing and performing at UCB constantly. And then any other day other than that, I'm being quiet and trying to relax.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't really know who I was, but I thought I knew who I was, blah, blah. So I was like a very much people pleaser, doing the same thing, doing what I thought I had to do. And then the pandemic hit. And then when you lose kind of the structures of everything, and you're sitting at home, you go, why am I doing anything?
Yeah.
I don't have free lunch and free dinner anymore at Google. I don't have my outlet of comedy, and I like spiraled. And then obviously like BLM happened, all this stuff happened, and I was like, why do I have so many white friends who don't talk about race, et cetera, et cetera? Why do I have so many white friends who don't care about what I have to say? So then it was like this whole like self-discovery couple of years. And then I sunsetted a lot. I dyed my hair blonde. Oh no, dyed my hair pink.
Ooh.
I like started wearing color. I started like making online content because I was like, I need to do comedy. And that like spiraled into something bigger of like, okay, now I'm like getting like more recognized. I'm making friends outside of UCB. So this was like, this last like 5 years I've been transition. Like 4 or 5 years I've been transition. So if I had to go back to my 20s, I would be like, snap out of it.
Oh.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Like you're just like, and I do well in school. So I would like enter structures that are really clear. Like Google was a structure that was really clear. UCB was a structure that was really clear. Like I never had like an entity outside of that. And it took like a whole pandemic for me to be like, wow, who am I? And what are my desires and what makes me happy? And am I worthy of love? Yes, like all this stuff.
Wow.
So yeah, I would like tell myself it's okay to lose people on the way. Because I think that's the other part. I was like, how do I maintain every single relationship I've ever had? How do I make sure everyone loves me still while also becoming my own person? Which sometimes it's not possible. And so I like also want to tell myself that you don't have to make everyone happy. You don't. Not everyone has to love you.
Wow.
Do I still panic all the time that there might be one bad review? Yes. So I am a people pleaser at my core, but I'm so much more, have more of an edge now than I did then. So that was my journey.
Wow.
I don't know if you feel that way, but like I really had to learn that it's okay that not everyone loves everyone. That's like literally, that's fine. I don't love everyone.
No, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Is like being okay with not be, like knowing who you are and that's okay. And this is who I have what I have to offer.
Right.
And that's it.
I think like my journey was that I felt like if I changed and I lost people, that was my fault.
That's how I used to feel too.
Really?
So then I had to reconstruct my thoughts to be like, how come I have to feel that way instead? Why don't I think about maybe who sticks is the people who are supposed to be around you, and the people who make you feel good are the people who should be in your life. But for a long time I thought, no, I have to work to maintain like harmony and like make sure everyone likes me.
Yes.
So yeah, if I could go back, I'd be like, it's okay.
Yeah.
If they don't like that you're like becoming more of a fuller version of yourself, then those are probably not the people for you.
Wow.
But that just took like 2 years for me to learn. I wish I could have learned that like in my early 20s.
I still think that 2 years is pretty fast.
Yeah, that's-
you know?
I guess. I mean,
That's
it's
a big one.
quick.
It was an Asian therapist. It was like an Asian therapist helping me. Like, there's a lot of
Yes.
stuff in the mix.
Wow.
And there's a lot of race stuff I had to work on too, like not being ashamed of being Asian or like
Yeah.
owning my Asianness or feeling like I'm being Asian was something worth talking about. Because
Yeah.
for a long time it wasn't. It felt like we were not really part of any conversation.
Right.
So there was like a lot of stuff hand in hand that happened. But yeah, it took me like the pandemic for me to be like, oh, not everyone likes me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
What a lesson.
Wow, that was so therapeutic for me.
Oh, good. I was like,
That
did I
was
talk
great.
so much?
Jojo, are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Are you ready for your?
I'm ready for this.
Do
No,
you feel
but
like you've gotten there, like that feeling of it's
I think
okay?
I'm in that process right
Okay.
now. So as you're saying that, I'm like, holy shit, she's like articulating it better than I've ever
Oh.
done so in my own head.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this process is horrible in some ways, but also great.
Yeah, I mean, growing pains, you know?
Yeah, growing pains. Like in the middle of it, I really felt bad about myself.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I lost like my closest friends. In
but
the
you
process.
gained a podcast.
True. An Asian podcast.
Thumbs up to the camera.
Wow. I kind of want to know how long the blonde lasted for.
I was pink for 2 rounds. So what is that, like 4 months?
Yeah.
And then I was blonde for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
That's a
and
long
then it's
time.
really expensive.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. And then I started thinking, girl, you're probably gonna go white. Just looking at my kind of family history, like I'm gonna lose the natural hair color. Like all my my grandparents
Oh,
have
just
white
naturally.
hair. Yeah, they're gonna go white hair.
Whoa.
No one has their black hair. So I was
Wow.
like, maybe I gotta enjoy my natural black hair while I still
While you
have
have
it.
it.
And then maybe when the grays start coming in, I will maybe be like, I'm back to my blonde era.
Uh-oh.
But I'm actually just hiding my grays.
You're like the sexiest grandma there is.
Yeah. And I'm like,
It's like, look at that.
I'm like 38.
No, I think like hair color reflects how like manic someone is.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were just talking to someone about that recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's true.
Everyone, I feel like a lot of Asian girls have their like blonde or like
Yeah.
hair dye era.
I was blonde for 5 years.
Wow,
Silver.
you really kept it going.
Silver.
I spent a lot of money.
That's right,
Yeah,
that
I was
was
gonna say.
expensive.
That was when I moved to New York. So you know how expensive it is to get your hair done.
Yeah,
here.
it's so expensive.
Yeah.
And it's like every 2 months.
Wow.
So I was
Yeah.
dropping so much money and I was like, is it worth it for me to look
It's
alt
never
for a
worth it.
little bit? But it was worth it for like the second I did it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I feel
At the
cool.
time.
Yeah. And I started like painting my nails different color. I don't know. I just like literally just started doing expressing myself.
Expressing
in different
yourself.
Ways. Yeah. I was just like, I don't have to wear I don't have to dress like Steve Jobs all the time. I didn't know that till
Yeah.
the pandemic.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Well, Jojo, what would you say because I don't know how to describe your hair. People on the video can watch, but
yeah,
it's like
so it's
Like a
I don't know, it's
light
like
brown, copper.
it's like copper red,
Yeah.
brownish. Yeah, so I've been this color since January.
Okay.
So I think that's when I started getting a little bit more manic.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed. In January is when I started going this
Got
color.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
how
this
are
is kinda
you?
new.
So you're getting tattoos. See, this is the same vibe. It's like I'm gonna get tattoos. I'm gonna play with my hair. Like it is just
Wait,
like.
did you get it tattooed?
No.
Okay.
I pierced my ears.
That's another
body
thing.
modification.
That was like-
Body modification.
Yeah, because I was like,
No.
oh, I'll pierce my ears, but I probably won't get a tattoo. It's not like my vibe.
I feel it.
Or like I don't know. I don't
hear
have
ya.
anything I want on my
Yeah,
body
yeah,
for
yeah.
forever. But I was like, but I can have holes in my ears.
No, getting
No, I
piercings
get
is
that. I get that.
another part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my version. It was dyeing my hair, piercing
Yeah.
my ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I got my first tattoo in like when I was like in my like 27,
Yeah.
which is like I feel maybe not for an Asian person late, but like for people who are into tattoos, like I don't know.
Sure.
A lot of people like they get into tattooing like as soon as they can, and
Right.
they start getting tattooed. And I didn't until I had this idea in my mind. I was like, I'm gonna just start at like 27, but then I'll stop at 30 for some reason.
Oh.
Arbitrarily.
3 years.
Okay.
Arbitrarily, I just
Yeah.
picked that number. I don't know why. I think maybe I was like, by that time, I will be serious. I'll have a
Right.
mustache, and you know what I'm saying. But of course, my life was upside down when I was 30. So that's why I keep going. And now, actually, I don't want to get any more tattoos.
Oh, really?
I don't
because
believe that you're not going to.
Not because I don't love them, but because they're really expensive.
Okay, so
Yes.
that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say
Yeah.
maybe you didn't start till 27 because you
'Cause
don't
you
have
didn't
the
have
funds.
money.
Well, I mean, I that is part of it, but I think there was also the time I was going through a breakup. I was doing all this stuff. I was, I wasn't, I was like, a single dude wearing my my American Apparel pants and my, you know, this whole thing. And, you know, and I think I stopped, I got it. Let's just say I don't have the urge to get another one. The last one I got was the one that kind of represents
your
on my
calf.
my calf here. That represents my son.
Aw.
Right?
Yeah.
And then when I got it, you know, I've said it before, the guy Mark Cross, amazing tattooer. I actually don't think he's tattooing anymore. I think he's becoming an artist.
Okay.
But it was it's a good amount of money, worth it, but a good amount of money. And I was just like, I don't want to spend that much on myself again.
I see.
You know,
Yeah.
which makes sense. Like in this kind of bookending, as far as like your tattooing is like, you know, tattooing is a lot about you. As you know, your tattoo is going to do, right? And it's about like what you want, and this is my body. I'm in control of it, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then after a while, I guess maybe I feel like, okay, I'm ready to transition away from like focusing on me and into, I'm like, okay, now I got to focus on my son
your
or my
parent.
family or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Boring.
No, it's not.
Did that feel like a transition era, becoming a father? I mean, I'm sure it did.
Yeah, you know, yeah, I guess in dad lingo, we would never say the word transition era.
Right.
Because we're not cool like that. We're just like, oh, I've stopped. Me stop now.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I had to become caregiver.
Fix VCR.
Yeah.
You know? But this is what's good. I think every Asian dad needs to hang out with young, cool Asian women because they help you realize what's going on in your life. Because I didn't make that connection. I mean, like financially, I made the connection that I'm going to stop tattooing, but I didn't really make the connection like, oh, I'm moving away from this thing that was a big part of my life into something else.
Right.
Weird.
Life is just a collection of phases.
It is.
You know, like eras.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've entered a different phase of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that was the last thing. You, when you and I were last talking, you were interested in getting into like the film industry. What a time to get into it, by the way.
I know. The
Weird
timing.
year for that.
What a great time.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like, first of all, that's very cool and exciting. And
Yes.
I think Jenny and I were talking right before you got here. Like, to start a whole new career is really exciting, and I'm glad I don't have to do that, or at least I had my startup time, and now I'm like kind of in it. But yeah, how does that feel? Like, you know, first of all, why that, and then, you know, like.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get into filmmaking, but what's interesting is I've always been interested in it, but never interested enough to actually jump and do it.
Yeah.
But my younger brother, he's 6 years younger than me.
Oh,
He's
right.
a senior in college. He's a radio, television, film major at UT Austin.
Okay.
And he's doing, this is so silly, but they call it like a semester abroad. You can do New York or LA.
That's abroad for Texas,
Abroad.
baby.
Yeah.
It is, honestly, but this semester he's in LA.
Okay.
And so that's why I've been kind of spending a lot of time there. And we have talked about this a lot, but this year we're like, we should do a sibling, like director duo
Oh, wow.
type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we're starting to do. We directed a music video together
Whoa.
2 months
Cool.
ago.
Who's?
No one that you would know necessarily, but it's my best friend's younger brother who's wanting to do rap.
Okay.
Okay.
And so we were like, you know what? This sounds fun. Let's just do it. And
Yeah.
like,
Yo.
if it gets 3 views, who cares?
Right.
And it was fun. And it's like, I'm helping people I love while we're practicing doing what we love.
Right.
And it was really fun. And it kind
That's
of
awesome.
reaffirmed that this is what I want to do. And I feel like having that sort of bond with a sibling is pretty rare.
It is.
And so we're kind of just like figuring it out. Like, he's still in college and he hasn't had actual corporate experience. So I feel like we're a little different in that sense, because I'll be like, we need a call sheet, even though this set's gonna be just 3 people.
Yeah.
It's just us 2 and the
You need
artist.
to have
side.
the call sheet. Treat that.
I made a call sheet and I'm
Yeah.
like, everyone give me your numbers and your emails. And
Right.
he's like, what's the call sheet?
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah.
he's 21.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anything. So we have this, like, I guess I have like that to balance out his, like, you know, 21-year-old boy.
Right.
Of course. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like it's an exciting time. My parents are super supportive. They were like trying to brainstorm what our duo name would be. It's hard. We haven't thought of anything.
Yeah.
If
okay.
you want to workshop that too. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, because our last name is Kim, and like that doesn't sound cool to be
Yeah.
like, oh, it's the Kims. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, like certain people, like the Daniels.
I
Theirs
know.
is cool.
Theirs is really cool.
Theirs is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't have that.
Yeah.
So still workshopping.
Yeah.
it.
You have
Okay.
time. You have time.
Yeah, but yeah, horrible timing with the strikes.
Of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see you as like a thriving LA Asian person.
LA Asian. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know?
you used to live in California, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
from Orange County, so yeah.
you would know. I used to take that offensively. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
When people said you look like you could be in LA, I took it offensively
Really?
as like a
Why?
4.5-year New Yorker.
Oh, I see.
I feel like New York is a part of my identity still right now,
Yeah.
and so when people say, "Oh, you could belong in LA," I took it so offensively.
Oh.
Maybe I still do. I'm kind of like a little bit.
Interesting.
No, it's not an offensive thing. I think it's it's like you got your look, you got your media savviness, I think that's what LA
Yeah.
is, and it's about I don't know how to say it, like you know what you're doing, but there's a glam to it. Whereas I feel in New York, there's like I know what I'm doing, and I'm smoking a half smoked Marlboro too.
Yeah.
At the
And you
same
have like
time.
dark circles under your eyes.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
grungy here.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Very
kind of
grungy.
like gritty.
Yeah.
That
Gritty.
energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you don't have good boundaries.
Yeah.
Here,
And you
know?
don't drink like green juices and go on
Exactly.
hikes. Yeah, you smoke
Aha.
cigarettes at 5 a.m. and
Yeah.
you go, oh fuck, I
Yeah,
hate this
fuck.
city."
Where's this McGriddle? I ordered a McGriddle
Yeah.
16 minutes ago. Where is it?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I think that'll be good for you. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll see. Now that I'm back here just for the weekend, I really realized how much I missed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And all my stuff is in storage here still. So
Oh.
I feel like I might just come back for a little and see. But
Wow, you're really vibing. You're just kind of like
am.
going wherever the wind blows. That's so
and
fun.
I'm not normally like this. I'm normally like the call sheet,
Yeah.
spreadsheet type
Yeah.
of person. Like always making a spreadsheet for any trip I'm on.
Yeah,
like
that's
always
me.
pre-planning my life.
Oh,
me.
funny.
None of that right now.
I feel that to my core.
I
Yeah.
remember I met you at
Coffee shop.
no, but we originally met
At
at Young Me
Hacks-
at Young Me
Oh.
and
Yes.
at Feeling Asian.
Yes.
You
One of
had
the live
so
shows.
many people at that Feeling Asian live show.
met so many
I'm
people.
so
Well, I
mad I
went-
wasn't there.
It was a Japanese breakfast one.
Yes.
And my friend was visiting and she was like, I have an extra ticket. Do you want to go? And she was like, there's these really cool podcast guys that are also going to be there. And then I think she recognized you and was
Oh, that's
like,
right.
that guy's really cool. And then so we talked to you.
Oh.
Yeah.
You hear that?
Yeah, you got
everybody?
recognized.
And I'm cool. That's all I
Yeah.
care about now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah, you're like
I
glowing.
can tell.
Patrick, that's our editor. When she says that, slow it down.
Yeah, slow it
Yeah.
down.
So that
Put the
Replay it.
volume up.
Put the volume up.
And send it to me.
and send it to me and put somebody cool behind it, like Playboy Cardi or somebody. Is he cool? I have no idea.
Who?
My nephew mentioned him to me once.
Bacardi.
Playboy Cardi?
Yeah.
Playboy. I don't know who that is. I'm too old for that.
I'm not into that scene, so you're asking the wrong people.
Not into that scene.
Yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
listening to Maggie Rogers.
Okay. Well, we're very excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
Directing,
yeah.
movie making.
We'll see.
The Kims.
Yeah,
I think
the
that could be
Kims.
cool. I don't-
It's so that's like the Smiths of Koreans, though.
I know.
It's like, come on.
But it's not. But not here.
Not here.
Oh,
There's no Kims yet.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this could be it.
Or
could
at
be
least
cool.
none that are
known.
I'm sure there's so many.
Yeah,
Kims,
but like a
actually.
directing duo called
Directing
the
duo
Kims.
called the
that's,
Kims?
that's not. I haven't
Yeah.
heard about that yet.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Gonna workshop it a little, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Don't.
You have a-
Don't trust us. We don't
No,
know
no,
anything.
no. I'm still working on the vomiting thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna send you a couple
I mean,
texts.
the word vomit is also so like I don't want you to think I like projectile vomit.
Yeah.
It's more so just like my tummy hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tummy's a good
Tummy's
one.
good.
Tummy's
Oh,
good.
something about
Yeah.
tummy is like
Yeah.
soft and
and, like,
digestible.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
They love that.
right.
He's a dad.
Dads love
He's
that
a
shit.
dad.
Someone's tummy's hurting. Yeah.
That's horrifying.
I love it. Okay. Yeah, I think. Well, again, I'm excited about it. We'll see what happens. Good luck on your tattooing.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
want to know. Want to see. What? Do you have a picture of the thing? You can show us later.
So back to me like being the call sheet type of person.
Oh, yeah.
I printed it out because I had my dad. Oh my god! Wow! Look, I crumpled it up so
Oh
much.
no!
So this is like the reference I have,
wow.
and then I had
Oh.
my dad write it. So he started with highlighter, and I was like, "That's not gonna
Yeah.
work."
Yeah.
So then I had him just write it out a bunch of times with black pen.
That's great.
So I'm gonna take this to the appointment and just see what happens.
So this is like
Wow.
one of them right here, or like
yeah,
one
so
of
it's
you.
like the 3 symbols. I think I like this one the best, but we'll see.
Ooh, I do like this one.
Yeah, right? Like that
Yeah,
one's
this
kind of
one's
nice. Yeah.
I also like this one for like a smaller, more compact energy.
Yeah. We'll see.
If I were a tattoo artist, I would be like, okay, so that's like small and
I
that's
like the
big.
small-
Like that's like
I like the small,
amount
compact
of
energy.
expertise I can give you.
Yeah. That's pretty
Yeah.
much what tattooers do. So I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
We'll see how it goes.
Great. And either way, you really can't see it too much.
No.
Where you're putting it.
Where exactly?
I'm
Like-
never gonna be able to see it. It's gonna be on my like spine.
They're all kind of
area.
behind you.
I will never see it.
Yeah.
So actually, that's a good thing.
And you'll
maybe.
probably forget that you have it. My
I
friend
will
who has one
definitely
behind her neck, she's like, yes, my first one. I was like, no, girl, you have one right there. She's like, oh, I always forget about that one. Like, yeah, because you can't see it.
And the second one I'm getting is behind my ear too. So
Yeah.
I'm really not gonna see these.
Yeah, they're all kind of
Yeah.
secret,
Yeah.
secret
And-
tattoos.
Can I
Yeah.
say these tattoos very LA? Boom! I said it again. I did it. I think so.
I mean, listen, I don't
It's
take
gonna
it
be La
offensively
Habra
anymore.
energy. What?
I don't take it offensively anymore.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Okay.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
Because it just feels like there's this rivalry. And even when you were talking about it with Fumi in the
Yeah.
last episode, like he's starting to embrace the LA
You
Asian.
gotta do it. You should see, everybody. If you haven't seen Fumi now he looks so happy and I
He
think
looks happy.
I swear to God, I think he's taller.
His
I
vibe,
swear to fucking God,
his vibe seems chiller.
he seems more chill.
Really?
Yeah.
He has better outfits.
Does he?
Way better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what he dressed like here, so I can't tell you that.
Oh my God, he used to dress like a middle school boy. That's what I
Oh,
would
and
say.
what is he dressed like now?
Now he's dressed like
Like a
you
high
know,
school
like
boy.
like a high school boy.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, but like a yeah, but you know, like a downtown cool
Is he
guy.
wearing like a pearl necklace and like
He's not doing pearl
like tank
necklace,
top
but it's a
and-
lot. He's wearing a lot of. He got into like wearing a lot of like vintage sports stuff.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
He had a T-shirt that said he found like a vintage Yale T-shirt.
Oh, right,
Yeah, I
from
did hear
eBay?
about that. The
Probably,
eBay,
I
yeah.
think so.
'Cause you
yeah.
guys mentioned you shop on eBay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his shoe
I do
game's
that
much
too.
better. You know, he had like a cool like a cool like knit kind of button up last time we did a show together.
Okay.
It was. I
Wow.
was like, you've learned much, my friend.
Yeah.
You know,
LA has been good to you.
and it has been good to you.
Padawan.
Yeah. So.
Well, good for you. Congratulations to Fumi. I'm going to talk directly to Fumi now because
Yeah,
you
just
should.
Fumi.
He
Yeah.
listens to the show.
I've
Apparently.
heard. I hope he listens to this part.
Well, hopefully he will be back, and we'll all
hang out
we'll all be
together.
together, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Yeah,
Yes,
I hope you had
thank
fun
you.
here.
I had a great time.
I know
Thanks for
you're
having
working
me.
on your stuff, and you know where can our fans find you and your work?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram. My name is spelled incorrectly.
Okay.
Like my birth name is spelled incorrectly.
Uh-huh.
So my name is Josephine, but my parents spelled it JoeSephiine.
Okay.
When it's supposed to be Jose.
Right.
So my name will never be on a souvenir keychain. But so my Instagram is JoeSequine because the P version was taken.
I
Oh, wow.
see.
It's a little confusing. But you can find my podcast at Asian Glow Up Pod on Instagram.
Boom.
Amazing.
Boom. You can find us on Instagram at
my
Asian
God.
Not Asian Pod. Oh God, I'm fucked up.
Oh no.
At Asian Not Asian Pod, and you can find me on there at Nice Pants Bro.
And I'm at Jenny Arimoto.
Come check out our stand-up show. It's the second Friday of every month. The next one's October 13th. And tickets available right now if you just Google Hack City Comedy. Otherwise, we love you. Thank you very much again, Josephine.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you around. Bye.
Bye.